my next question is, Manish, we've heard a lot about McAfee Enterprise and FireEye product businesses that have emerged as Trellix. And as an industry veteran, how are you seeing this change and how Trellix will be leading the cybersecurity industry and helping organizations across industry meet their IT security needs?
Yeah, Khushbu. So we are very excited about this merger that has happened with two tech giants, which are FireEye and McAfee Enterprise. And I strongly believe that this merger is the dawn for new age security solutions.
Right.
What we have seen is over the years, there has been a good focus in building up a very robust security architecture. That's the focus of organization, right? Endpoint
Right.
security, network security, data protection, now cloud security, posture management. These are various solutions which have been deployed and which has been operationalized in most of the organizations now. Now they have started evaluating certain solutions in certain technology domain.
Right.
But that has created silos also. That is not solving the problem. What for customers, the modern day security threats problems.
Right.
The reason for that is the network is siloed, the approach is siloed. Any
Right.
analytic solution, threat detection solution is effective in that specific segment, in that specific domain. If you
Right.
talk about cloud security, ES, PaaS, and SaaS security, they are limited to that ES, PaaS security platform solutions, that security solution.
Right.
Now, and so is the endpoint. It's all segmented. The analytics is happening within that particular segment.
Right.
But as rightly mentioned about Mandar, what Mandar mentioned is about having a need for unified single glass of plane and single
Right.
analytics solution, holistic solution, which looks across multiple security silos that are created, multiple segments that are created, correlate that, run extensive analytics on top of it, and give you a correlated contextual chain of events for any
Right.
security incident. So what you eventually you get is a very high rate, I would say, very high confidence incidents that can pinpoint to the problem, and then it can clearly articulate that where the problem resides, right? Where
Correct.
the entire chain of events context that it can bring in. Now that's what the merger of FireEye and McAfee Enterprise, which is Trellix now,
Yeah.
is bringing into the industry. It's
Right.
an open architecture that we are working on, although both McAfee Enterprise and FireEye are fairly strong in the solution segments, the security infrastructure solutions, whether it's endpoint security, whether it's network security or data protection. Likewise, FireEye is very strong in threat analytics,
Right.
SIM platforms, as well as security intelligence platforms. All these intelligence that we have built up over the years, we are building up a very strong and robust framework, security framework, and open architecture so that organizations can have a holistic view of the entire security infrastructure that they have built up and can understand the threats emanating from multiple segments, try to correlate all that information and build up a overall holistic view of the entire security framework that they have. So that's the approach. We're very excited. And I think definitely this is going to be a revolutionary step in the security industry.
Awesome. Awesome. Great. My next question is, Mandar, what are your views on Aditya Birla Chemical's current IT security posture? And as a CISO, what are your plans to continue to defend against ever-emerging threats?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think as far as my plans goes for our business, I think we have started with ensuring that we have a right governance structure in place for addressing all the information security and cyber security risks. We were only partially certified in ISMS standard, ISO standards, and all of those. So we have taken up, plan to roll it out to each and every unit, each and every plant of our business, just to make sure that this governance structure that we are putting in place in terms of identifying the risk, implementing the controls, the awareness portion. Each of this security culture reaches to every function, every department in the corner of the enterprise. So that security gets considered, it's well addressed at each and every level, and it just not remains somewhere within an IT department issue. And that's the one of the focus. Just coming to the other area, I mean, especially in last couple of years, we have seen significant transformation in our IT security posture. Of course, the pandemic has really, pushed us into taking a lot of security enhancement measures. Just to name few of them, like move from a legacy VPN or a remote access solution to move into something like a SASE solution. Get onto the zero trust, access journey. So we've gotten into that. So that has significantly reduced the attack surface for us, because now anyone who's working remotely or working from anywhere, home or any other location, really we are restricted his access to granularly to a particular application that he needs to access, and he never gets part of our network, and so that way the attack surface is significantly um, reduced. So
Right.
that's one important thing. We've taken a lot of measures in hardening the overall Active Directory that we have, because any intrusions, any lateral movements, any privilege escalations that are of a serious nature, somewhere or here they actually end up exploiting the gaps and weaknesses in our Active Directory or domain administration and domain admin accounts and all. So a lot of efforts that we are taking in hardening the Active Directory. So that's the foundational thing. So that transformation, of our central SOC is something that we have done over last year or so, and we continue to, improve, and fine tune those capabilities further. Other than that, there are many other things that considering the risk that our organization and our specifically our business is facing, we're taking certain measures in terms of hardening the conditional access of our Office 365, because that has been heavy adoption of Office 365 actually happened in our organization as soon as the COVID struck us. Heavy adoption of OneDrive, Teams, and Office 365, everyone working remotely and all. So
Yeah.
a lot of critical data out there. So a lot of efforts have gone in now in terms of tightening the access control of the overall Office 365 suite, even other applications. We are defined data classification policy and strategy for your organization, and leveraging certain tools to enforce the data protection, because we do seek certain risk in that area as well. Therefore, adopting that data classification and protection solutions in every function and every department, that's pushing the adoption across the organization. That has been our
Right.
focus. Of
Right.
course, there are many other new age, as Manish has already mentioned, supply chain attacks has been a prominent risk that we also foresee.
Right.
So we are seeing how we can improve our third party risk assessment and evaluations, and what other supply chain risk will impact us. So that is another area of focus. And as because we are manufacturing that to something which is like a hazardous nature with chemicals, and therefore protecting our DCS systems and overall OT network remains another topmost priority for us. So therefore,
Okay.
monitoring the overall posture of that, having the right segmentation, and what other measures can be done to improve the visibility and improve the overall posture of OT network. That's another first of area. I mean, these are some of the high level ones. Other than that, there are many other things
Right.
that we have planned for coming future.
Right. Right. Awesome. Awesome. Great insights, Mandar. Before we end, one last question, Manish. Trellix is a leader in XDR solution, and could you please throw some light on how Trellix would help organizations take control of any incident from detection to response, and simultaneously simplify the cybersecurity operations to prioritize alerts, focus, and true threats?
So to some extent, Mandar has touched on that, on the XDR architecture and the need for XDR in an organization. And what we have seen is XDRs have been predominantly, the technology itself has been predominantly driven by two kinds of technology providers. One is the endpoint security technology providers, and the second stream is the threat analytics and traditional SIM OEMs who have moved into embarked on the threat intelligence and threat analytics platform side. Now, that approach is locking the customers. There's a challenge in that approach because that approach is locking the customers to use those branded technology providers, endpoints, and the solutions. And most of the XDRs that we are seeing in the industry are native integrations. That means the XDR platform that you're building up, that has to be from the same brand of endpoints that you have rolled out in your network, or same brand of security operations tool that you have been using in your network. We are taking a fresh new approach to XDRs, and that's open XDR and a true open XDR. That means whatever investment that an organization has done in building up a robust security architecture and the detection and response mechanisms that they have built up, that gets seamlessly integrated into our XDR platform. So that's a console, or that's a control plane for the entire security infrastructure that you have built up, and that's what our focus is now. Given this fact that Trellix has great experience in terms of, and great solutions in terms of endpoint security, network security, and also on threat analytics part, our strength is in understanding the requirement of each of these domains, and then being successfully integrate the third parties, then successfully integrate other technologies into our framework. And that's our key strength here, the open architecture part. Now, looking at what's the outcome, right? We are talking of XDRs, but what's the outcome that is driving these innovations? The most important part which we see is a holistic view of the entire network in the segmented infrastructure. We need to tie those chain of events into one meaningful security incident, reduce the false positives, and come up with a very high confidence incident. We should be able to prioritize the risk, predict what are the weak points. That's an important criteria, or the outcome which customers can expect. Another important aspect is about integration, which we touched about. It's all works. XDR works on data lake fundamental, and it's important that we have to have those integrations in place. So right now, Trellix has 650 plus integrations, security solution integrations already available, so that we have an open platform for providing that integration framework. Third important aspect is about the alert fatigue, right? Because that's given. The SOC engineers, they have to look at various alerts, the traditional model, they have to look at the alerts, they have to triage them, and then they have to research that, because there is so less context which is available. So there is no motivation of those security engineers to actually research more, because the meaningful incidents are very less right now. So that's what XDR is going to bring to them. It's about a high confidence incident that will be presented to them with entire event chain with a lot of context, so that they can reduce the dwell time, the mean time to respond, and also how effectively that they can remediate a threat. So our solutions which we're building up, Trellix solution that we are building up, we're looking at all these outcomes, and our focus is that customers who are adopting our solution, they should get the advantage and they should be benefited from the entire open architecture that we're building up.
Awesome. Great. Great insights, Manish and Mandar. Thank you once again. This brings to an end to our episode, but thank you once again for joining in today and sharing this platform and talking about some of the very key important aspects of cybersecurity. So it was a pleasure to host you both. We'll talk to you guys soon.